Welcome to Personal and Dependency Exemptions. Who can you claim? Personal exemptions. Everyone has a personal exemption to take. Depending on the return, you will either have one or two personal exemptions. Two personal exemptions are found on married filing joint returns. All other returns have one personal exemption, unless the person was claimed as a dependent, and then it will not have a personal exemption. Dependency exemptions. If you support somebody, you get to claim their exemption. There are two main types of dependency exemptions: qualifying child and qualifying relative. Qualifying child test. They have to be related to you. They have to be your children or grandchildren, your brother, sister, niece, or nephew. Those are the only people that can be qualifying children. They must be under the age of 19, unless they are a full-time student, then they can be under 24, or if they're totally disabled. You must provide more than half of their support for the year, and they must have lived with you more than half the year. They also cannot file a joint return unless it's just to claim the refund. A qualifying relative is not a qualifying child. You either have to be the parent of the taxpayer. The dependent can be the parent of the taxpayer, or a member of the taxpayer's household that's lived with them all 365 days of the year. Parents do not have to live with the taxpayer. Their gross income must be under $3,700, and you must provide over half of their support. There are tiebreaker rules. Some people qualify as a qualifying child for more than one person. If this happens, it naturally goes to the custodial parent. If they have joint custody and there's no real custodial parent assigned by the court, then it goes to the parent with the highest AGI. If the parents are not going to claim them, the next eligible person with the highest AGI gets to claim the child. This happens when the parents maybe live with the grandparents. The grandparents make $40,000. The parents didn't make anything. The grandparents can claim the child. Multiple support agreement. This is when you have the parent in the nursing home that you provide support for. You provide support for them, and maybe you have a brother and a sister that also gives to their support. As long as the total amount of the support given to the person is more than 50% of what the person makes, somebody's allowed to take that exemption. Your part of the support must be at least 10% or more of the support, and you cannot split the exemption. Everyone else that provides support for that person must sign a 2120 before you can claim this exemption. Special rules for parents who are divorced, separated, or not married. Custodial and non-custodial parents. The custodial parent is usually the parent the child lives with most. A waiver can be signed by the custodial parent, allowing the non-custodial parent to claim the child. If they were divorced between 1985 and 2009, in the divorce decree it will state who gets to claim the child and what years they get to claim the child. And the custodial parent can revoke that waiver for every year but the year it was signed. Thank you, and that's personal exemptions and dependency exemptions.